Say what you just said while I'm recording so we can get the live
I
reaction.
can't believe this.
I finished the book about 20 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
You are awful.
Oh my
What
God. You
chapter are you
can
on, Sam?
It was worth
11.
it. Oh
Oh,
my God.
I got to, I
No,
think
23.
23 today.
No.
I didn't go that much far. I didn't realize I was
Guys,
like, I didn't realize it was still going. And I was that far ahead until like I looked down to tap to pause it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like so far there. I was like, oops. So I kind of, I
in
hit panic.
my defense, I did take almost a week to read it, and I have been sick for days. So, in my defense, normally I would have finished this book in like what, 24 or 48 hours. I have
There's
waited.
no defense.
No
But
defense.
I also have plenty of my notes. I did stop every few chapters and then doubled back. I have all of my notes for our thing. So don't worry. I also wrote like big thing like letters of like, do not say this. That's next
Good.
chapter.
If you spoil any of this book club is over.
Hello? Girl, what page are you on?
That's why you read ahead, because that's like in who you are. You need to know what's going to happen next so that
I
everyone
do.
else like
I don't like the
suffers.
uncertainty of things. I need to know. I need to know now.
I like having us know together when something happens.
Yeah.
I just
Like,
like, I don't know.
I know
I like
something
reading ahead
you don't
sometimes, but not this.
know. I know something you don't know.
Yeah, that's like basically like both of you are like that because it would be like as soon as you two are both the type to like get someone a Christmas present and then be like, "Do you want to know what it is?"
Well, that I just enjoy.
Yes.
I'm excited for you to share that joy.
You know, you like
Yeah.
having a piece of
Um,
information that someone else doesn't have.
yeah,
Is
Admit
that
no.
is
it.
I feel like that might be our love language in a sense is one gift giving, but like I love giving someone a gift and then being excited to get it. It may not be the greatest gift, but I still love the feeling of giving it to you.
No, you're a good gift. You guys are both good gift givers. Uh, coming from someone whose mother is Mo the
She,
Morrigan when
Watch
it comes
out,
to
our
gift
mothers
giving.
watch.
When it comes to gift giving, my mom is the Morrigan.
yeah, a little, yeah,
And I'll
a
leave it
little.
at that. And you have to read 3 books to figure out what that means. The Morrigan.
It's so
Um,
true, though.
Okay, so it's Ernie Banks, and who else is it? Miss History Buff.
I can't
The
see
other
enough to.
guy is actually more famous than Ernie Banks.
Babe Ruth.
No,
No, I can't see his face,
Yeah,
sadly.
it's
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 blurred.
like
it's Ernie
clear.
Banks and Willie Mays.
Uh,
Oh, I should have known that.
You know, they have yeah, this is like the shot there with the baseballs. For those of you who can't, if you can't see it, it's like, and it's kind of far away, but there's the shot where they cross their bats. It's a
Yes.
good one. Thanks, History Buff. You've proven yourself.
I was gonna say I
Live to
knew
fly another day.
Mr. Banks for sure. He passed away a few years ago
Yeah.
and I had just saw him at a Cubs game and like it was really like I mean when you go to Wrigley Field, his statue is what is like right in front um of the park and it's so yeah, it was a really sad day for all the Chicago Cubs fans. But here we are.
is everybody ready to get this book on the roll?
It's no longer going to be a TBR
Yeah, it's
to be recorded.
yeah, to be recorded. All right, so welcome to Girl What Page You On. I am speed reader Ashley, accompanied by my amazing co-host, Kayla, historical hot stuff Collins, and here for the Spice Samantha. Today we're discussing the long anticipated Onyx Storm chapters 1 through 10.
Well, everybody, this is your warning. The tea light is on, which means spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. We are covering the first chapter through the 10th. So if you have not gotten that far, please stop. Come back after you read it. We do not want to spoil anything for you.
All right, so welcome to your battle brief. I am your professor here for the spice. So we are going to do a quick battle brief of chapters 1 through 10, and then we'll get into our deep dive. We're here.
Are you ready for this?
Are you ready? I just wanted to know, first and foremost, it's not, I will not die today. It's, I
No,
will save him.
I will save him.
I'll save him.
So, chapter 1. Violet and the gang prepare for peace talks while keeping Xaden's venom secret. Violet's goals are to find a cure for Xaden and to locate Andarna's species, as Andarna's fire can kill venom. Taryn and Andarna mistrust Xaden but stay loyal to Violet. Venom infiltrates the war college disguised as scribes, killing many in the infirmary. Violet kills one venom, but Xaden saves the day, as always, during this fight. Xaden reveals that he can sense venom and that they can sense him. Violet then meets with the Cenarium, who are the royals, who assign her, Taryn, and Andarna to find Andarna's species with Captain Grady. Takaris reminds Violet of her bargain, due in 3 days. Violet and Xaden get intimate early in the story, earlier than previous books, but it ends with Xaden channeling from the source. Mira returns, warning that the wards may fail in 6 months, but bring a rune stone to help stabilize Basgiath. First Wing's conflict, where the flyer forces Violet to step in and de-escalate Ara Beanhaven with a powerful speech. The group learns Halden, Eric's brother, and Air will join Violet's mission to locate Andarna's species. The alliance between Riders and Flyers has totally crumbled, especially with everyone who left Basgiath for the rebellion. But the king restores Xaden's title and seat in Tyrrendor. Next, Violet, Rhea, and Riddick, Imogen, and other marked ones, and rebellion ones, get Sawyer from the infirmary and help him modify the Ward Stone rune, allowing flyers to channel while blocking dark wielders. Mira and Brennan assist. The rune works successfully, so we think. Fourth Wing flyers are sent to the front lines. Violet dreams of saving a portrait of her family in a burning fortress. The group heads to Newhall to fight Venom and rescue Marin's family. During the battle, Garrick and Craddock, how do you pronounce that, Kayla? Craddock. Okay. Garrick and Craddock's dragons fall off a cliff along with Taryn and Violet. They were knocked out by a tornado on the ground. So they went clonk, hit their little heads, and were knocked out. The end of chapter 9 is a Venom approaching Violet to speak to her, a Venom that we've seen multiple times before. Chapter 10 is the dialogue between the Venom and Violet and Garrick, and it ends with the Venom questioning Violet about who bonded her first, Taryn or the Irid.
Dun dun dun!
Yeah, mystery.
Mr. Wee.
Okay, so what were y'all's? It's so weird saying y'all when I'm not.
I'm teaching you Southern slang there.
What were your initial thoughts on Onyx Storm?
I'm chiming in first. Her sneaking down to Jack when Xaden goes down and hearing the conversation. I love how she transitioned between books with that. Just because I thought that was a really good, like, you ended on Zane's portion of it and then you hear it from hers. Like, I thought that was a really good transition. And then I really want to jump to like the whole Taryn like passing out what happens at the end of the chapter, but we need to go through the other stuff first. And Sam, my favorite quote this book is definitely an Andarna quote, very early on so far. And Do you know what one I'm talking about? Do you have a hint of what one I'm talking about?
Um, she's being sassy again. What does she
Of
say?
course. It's the Indara's like, can you carry that ego with those, or can you carry on those wings? Can you carry that ego or something like
Yeah.
that? And I was dying. I was like sassy. I really was like sassy Sam in my head. That is such a you thing.
Quiet, cadets. The officers are speaking. Rude. I'm sorry, Mira still always has the best lines. Like she is up there with Darna's for sure.
Mira also is like, yeah, and you should find a mirror. So good. Ash, what were your initial thoughts? Like,
Uh, I was happy. Like Rebecca always does like a great job of like picking up immediately where we left off. Like there's no distance in between the books, which I really appreciate. Especially since she loves to leave cliffhangers. And she hasn't even started the next book, which is like devastating to think about. But I thought it was good. We get to see second signets for Garrett. And we kind of now have a different approach when we look at Zayden and how he is like speaking and handling others. And I just was like more perceptive of it, I guess.
yeah, obviously I really love it. Rebecca Yarros just pulls you right back in. And so I was really excited to get going on this. I felt a little lost. And I know it's not just me because I saw a couple like tweets and I saw some posts and some reels that was like, can someone please explain to me who all these people are? So there are some people who are new to the story who are like, they were there all along, but they weren't. So, or just people that I forgot. So,
Or like we haven't seen since the first book. Like
right.
literally like the first chapter of the first book. And I think everybody was like having that like do you even go here kind of moment.
Yeah. I also think she does a really good job of like giving us the vibe from the beginning. So basically Taryn and Andarna are like, screw you, Zayden. We're done. They're beyond mad. Taryn calls Zayden Dark One now instead of the wing leader.
Well, he's
And
caught. I
and
think it's interesting.
there's this whole dynamic between them that I think that we're gonna have to see how that plays out.
Have you guys noticed that Taryn calls Zayden something different in every book? First it was the wing leader, then it was the lieutenant, now it's the dark one. He never actually calls him by his name.
At least he's consistent on giving him good names that are addressed just him. But speaking of officers, what the hell with General Atos? Like, is it me or is he the new Varish? Because
He's
he's
always
just a
been the
dick.
Varish. He's always been Varish. He's actually
Yeah.
probably worse because she grew up with him. Like grew up or like, kind of like we all have like those really close family ties that just become like our aunts and uncles. Him and Mama Sorengale were partners in all of their duty stations. So for him to act the way he does really irks my chain.
Yeah, he definitely is a hard pill to swallow. And I hate that he constantly is like, just after Violet. Like, I don't
Hmm.
care. It's more like, I don't care what you're saying. I'm going to roll. And now that your mother's dead, I get her office. And and
But just
especially
the
his,
offense.
well, and just his relationship with his own son, like, it's, he's just a hard pill to swallow. I didn't think that he was so bad. I thought that maybe he was just a Varish crony and things were going to get fixed. Now that Varish is gone, like he'd see the light and see everything that Mama Sorengale did. And like Lilith gave her life. Like I just kind of thought that maybe he would have a come to Jesus, but he's obviously not.
Right. It's like, did he not know what was going on?
Mm-hmm.
Or did he, like how many of the leadership knew what was happening? I think it's obviously safe to say he did because so Mama Sorengale's second in command, right? And so he obviously is turning a blind eye. So what's his play here? Is he just trying to get power? Is he just trying to like seize an opportunity where there's an opening and now he's going to take control? Whatever it is, it's definitely not going to fare well for Violet in the rest of this book.
I also was wondering, do you think that he was in with the Jack Barlow rehabilitation venin testing thing? Because I'm kind of feeling like he was at this point.
I feel like he might be part of that. Um, but I don't know. I haven't put that much thought into it. I'm just like, this guy's a dick. That's as far as my thought on Atos has been.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the first 10 chapters were just like settling like the war and still trying to get our heads on straight again.
Yeah.
Um, but
What
can
did you
we
all what did you all think of the sexy scene? And the well, I want to say it's like an almost sexy scene because it's not a sex scene, but
Listen,
it's
props.
steamy.
Props to Rebecca for letting my girl get it in, get it off without having to reciprocate. Okay. I'm just gonna go out and say it. How many sex scenes do we get like that? Zero. Zero, we don't get any. It's like, cool, cool. I had mine. Peace out. But that's not really what happened. I know. I know she felt bad for Zayden was like, I'm just losing control. And he channels from the source and leaves like a thumbprint in the headboard of the bed. But I also think it's like a little bit cool that it was like very sex positive, it feels, right? Like
Yes.
Violet gets to get hers, and I just feel like it's a win for all my sex positive girlies out there.
can
I agree.
we talk about the swoon worthy I'm like fan theory hinting of Zayden going or a duchess in the meeting. As soon as he said that, I was like, wait a minute. Wait. I had to like double back a few pages to make sure I read it right. And then he drops like he was just being coy. And then she finds out they've reinstated his title. And I'm like, I don't think she really understood his full comment, or she did, and she's just like too like awestruck over it.
Yeah, I don't think she like I think she's like got her mind on other things to realize that if she's with Xaden, she's a duchess.
Yeah.
We should talk about the scenarium
Okay.
or scenarium. How do we pronounce it?
Scenarium. No, you were right with
Okay.
scenarium.
Okay.
Also, we were talking about Professor Deborah, and and I made sure to listen to the pronunciation. So the audiobook says it's Deborah, and I think we were saying Deborah, so we're correcting ourselves now, Deborah. Um, but I have a question about a dream sequence later on. So let's go to Solarium.
Wait, let's get to the scenarium because so the scenarium is basically all of the royals of the land. So it's Takaris and his court. It's Tyrandor. So it's Peromiel, Tyrandor, and Navarre. And who is the king of Navarre? Because I forget the names. There's too many new names.
There is. Hold on, let me peek at it here because I have to look it up now.
It's what's his face's dad,
I know, I'm
obviously.
looking at my book.
Uh,
So world leaders, King Tuari, the wise.
oh
King
yeah,
is that how
Tari.
Tuari?
Why is it that
King
I can listen to
Tari.
it? There we go. That's it.
And
Tari, yes, King
then
Tari. Tari is the king of Navarre. Takaris is the king of
nope, he's a
Peromia?
viscount.
A Viscount. Oh yeah, Viscount. Yeah, so the
Yes.
king of Navarre and then all the Viscounts, right?
And
Um,
then Queen Maria.
oh yeah, but she's not really there.
She was no, she was well,
Chapters 1 through 10, Ash, remember.
I know.
Ashley reads ahead, so this is why we
It's
can't have
not
nice
my
things.
fault. I
This
took
is
an
why we
entire
can't have nice
week.
things.
I took an entire week. You can't fault me. And I'm also reading like 3 books at once.
Well, why
So
couldn't you finish one of the other
then
books?
finish the other ones.
What? This one has
Yeah.
spoilers everywhere.
Oh my God.
too funny. But
I'm looking up, I sent over like the deep dive
Our
of
cheat sheet is what
my
I'm
cheat
calling that. I
sheet.
was looking for
Yeah.
it too.
I think it's fun that they have created a nickname for Andarna's species, the Irid, which is like at first I was like, oh, they just created something.
Yeah.
That's in the first 10.
Yeah,
Yes.
her
That's the
the
last little
Arid.
piece. Um, so irid it comes from the word iridescent or like
Yeah.
rainbow. So if you remember Violet, if you remember Andarna constantly is looking like she's like a little green today, she's a little blue today, she's black like Taryn, has like iridescence to her scale. So irid is the prefix of iridescent,
Yeah.
if you wanted some nerd. Okay, so okay, where do we want to go next, y'all?
How about what are you guys thinking or hoping is gonna happen in the next 10? I won't ask for you get for my opinion on this one, but I want your guys' opinion.
Oh, that's tough. Obviously we all hope that there's going to be some kind of cure thing, but that's not going to happen. I'm getting super excited about Violet's second signet, and now knowing that the marked ones do have second signets, but it's only a few of them. It's not all of them. We learned that, and that yeah, I'm really excited about Violet's. I'm still sticking to my theory about reincarnation. I just I nothing more than chapter 10 made me believe that that is her signet.
Um, I don't know about reincarnation. I think she's talking to ghosts. I think that's her second signet. So, yeah, I think she just was talking. I don't think she's reincarnation.
And
You
I
want
don't
to talk
know.
about Garrick's second signet though. So now basically before this, we all were kind of like, do all the marked ones have second signets? Because Liam threw ice in the battle. We know Xaden has a second signet. He can kind of tell people's intentions. And now Garrick, they don't come out and say it, but she's like, hold on, you were 8 hours away. How the heck did you get here so fast? And so she's like, can you like travel through? And I like made a note. I was like, wait a minute, Garrett got there so fast. Like he stopped time. Like what's happening? Or did Violet stop time again to get him there? I think it's definitely more of a him thing. I think that
Yeah.
It's a
he is the one.
yeah, so it's it's so weird like when their signets pop up their second signets because it's like wait, and then like Violet's like wheels turning like wait and I think it's kind of cool that she figures out or that everybody kind of tells her second signets, which I'm guessing that they don't tell each other. Or like, do you all think that they're all telling each other what their second signets are? Because nobody obviously knows about
Yeah.
Xaden's. Like he
I
kept
think
that so
Garrick
close to the belt.
does. I
I
think
mean, I
Garrick
think
and
Garrett and
Xaden are buds.
Bodhi, yeah, Garrett and Bodhi are the
But
closest ones
but
to
that
him.
but that's it. But that contradicts what happened in the last book. Is that he tells her nobody, absolutely nobody knows, not even in Garrick, not like nobody knows, and that like she is the only person outside of Sigil that knows. So it's that kind
Mm.
of made me wonder, which I'm assuming because Garrick used his in front of
hmm
Violet. So it's obviously pretty
Not
easy to
really in
say,
front of her, but he just got there really
yeah.
fast.
And so it's, but yeah, they have to know that Xaden has another signet but they're just assuming he's not manifesting it.
Well, let's remember too, uh, Garrett was on Zayden babysitting duty. So Zayden has to know. If anything, I would like for him to
Yeah,
there, I would assume like
that
Zayden would have
tracks.
had to know.
That tracks. So I also think Violet's keeping a really big secret even to herself. So we need to talk about Violet be being venom or venom related or something because the girl definitely,
Yeah,
without a doubt in
T.
my mind, is definitely venom or
Oh,
comes from venom or they need her for something. They're constantly stopping and not killing her. Obviously, venom are super, super powerful. They're constantly stopping and to not kill her. They're constantly saying, we need her, not the silver one, we need her. The venom also have silver hair. The other venom has silver hair, the one that she ends up speaking to later in chapter 10. So I'm sorry, the signs are all here. I can't I can't not. I think
Yeah.
Violet, I think that's what we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get Violet being somehow venom related. And the other venom that she spoke to wielded lightning just like she does. So is it a coincidence? Is she related? Like what is going on? Or is Papa Sorrengail out there making little venom babies? Who knows? Who knows at this point?
I'm still leaning toward Papa Sorrengail has some kind of venom relation, and especially
Um,
this girl even reinforced it. T. I think like I just remember the initial T. I can't remember her name. Um, but just the conversation and how familiar she is with Violet, just makes me think that there's got to be some kind of Papa Sorrengail like tie.
Yeah, I think that there's got to be something. I agree. I think that there's something with Papa Sorrengail. Um, I just do you think Violet is venom?
I'm still sticking to my guns that I don't think she's necessarily venom. I think that she has, well, I guess that would make her venom. I was going to say some kind of like the venom poison from a blade, like when she was in the womb, or that Papa Sorrengail was turning venom and when him and Mama got together. Um, but it's so hard because like she's obviously got something with the white hair, the white ends of her hair.
Mhm.
Um, and her power,
Also,
like there, I don't know.
do you remember in the initial fight scene when the Veden break into Basgiath and they're in the infirmary and they're all dressed as scribes and she's like, "Oh my God, that's how they got in." But there's a venin that kind of like moves super fast from one end to the other, but then like disappears. So was that a ghost? Was Violet like seeing something that was dead, or was Violet like connected to it?
Ooh.
Right? So that's like, I think that maybe the venin maybe her second signet somehow ties in that way. Maybe she's not exactly Venom, but maybe it ties in that way. And maybe that's how, if we ever find a cure for Zayden. Um, but what do you think now that Zayden's Venom, like what's the move? Like, is he just gonna fight the power until he can't anymore? They also referred to Violet as being the leash to him. Like, what is happening in that conversation between the Venom and Violet when Taryn and Craddock were knocked out. It's like really there's more questions than answers in this first 10 chapters.
For sure. And like it's so hard because there's so many like just from these 10 chapters, there's so many different branches we could go right now
Mhm.
because I don't know about y'all, but like my mind was working so much about trying to make some kind of connection between Zayden's Venom side and hers. Like it's is hers that she can pull more power from Taryn than other people. Um, but she's not pulling like the death. Well, I've been referring it to the death pull of a venom, like when they're sucking the power out of stuff. Um, and also like, do we think Jack Barlow, because that's what the venom we're trying to break in to get him out? Do we think Jack Barlow is going to have a comeback?
uh, I don't know. Like, I kind of
Tiff, you
hope.
literally do.
Well, I
She's the
know
worst person to ask.
I know some things. I
You
feel
keep
like
them to yourself.
we're the Rachel and Joey moment. I know. Do you know? I don't know. What do you know? Like back and forth kind of
That's
thing.
like every
But
FaceTime call.
like I did take notes, like Jack Barlow, and that's what I was like Jack Key Cure um was my hope for the upcoming chapters for sure. And like I had so many questions of like, okay, was Papa Sorrengail then in he had to have found a way, right? Like so I just yeah,
Or
there were so many questions I had. I just have a page filled with questions after the first 10 chapters for sure.
what about, remember how like in Iron Flame they had that medicine that they were giving to disconnect them from their dragons, and there was a theory flying around that that was actually like venom poison, if you will, right? So it could also disconnect them from channeling as well. So maybe that is going to help. I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't have been such a big part of book two if we were not going to see it again.
Also,
Yeah.
I am kind of following with you. Like, so they have that potion juice to take away their signet powers. Why can't they feed that to the venom? Like, why? Like,
Well, they'd have to catch one first.
well,
Yeah,
they
they have
have
to
Jack
yeah.
Barlow. They have Jack Barlow sitting there in a cell. Why not test it? Like, just
Do
because
you think
he's
it was
obviously.
being tested on him when they were like mending him?
Oh, oh, I wonder.
Well, I think
Like,
it's
I feel like why not
interesting.
use it?
Sam might be onto something where we didn't have this serum or anything until they got their hands on Jack Barlow.
Right.
Like the coincidence of timing is very, very interesting for sure. Like I actually didn't, that didn't click in my head of the timing.
Maybe
Crazy,
we
right?
just figured it out of the serum because we said this in a previous video that the serum we thought was some kind of key, like is gonna come. Like maybe that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
Rebecca likes to play the long game for sure,
she definitely
and
does.
also referring to your book thing, Ash, about how much like her time, she's already said that she's going to go write this other book, and then there's no deadline for the fourth book. So she's going to take her time. So that's why I'm really taking my time on this book.
Can we get into Violet's dreams? Because she has this dream in chapter 8 or 9 where she's basically in a burning fortress and she's looking for something and she's looking for something. And Kat is with her, and Kat's like, you gotta get out. We have to go. We have to go now. And Violet's like, no, save yourself. And Kat is actually, which is so weird that it's Kat. But Kat is like, I need you. She's like, I need you. So now Violet, like, I also think because Violet's had so many dreams in the past that it's very clear that the Venom also know where Violet is, right? That Venom was like, yeah, I saw that you were outside the border. Oh, I know where you are in her dreams. And now she's having this dream of a building burning and this interaction with Kat. Did you all read into it, or do you think I'm reading into it too much? What are your thoughts?
I think that you're reading. I was actually, that was what my question was that I wanted to get to from earlier was Kat is the one who's calling each other their queen or like the who's going to be queen. Is that Violet saying that to Kat or Kat saying that to Violet?
And
Violet's like, you are a better, like, he'll take you as a match. She's saying, like, if I'm out of the picture, if I die now, he'll still take you as a match.
I I like had a moment where I was like, oh, maybe Violet's second signet is like, you know, seeing into the future. Because at first I was like, wait a minute. Like, I feel like her and Kat's relationship has grown. So maybe this is like a foreshadowing kind of event. Like, is she seeing the future? Like, just because of that remark, I was like, oh, so maybe there's something that bonds them even closer. And
Mhm.
I did read a bit more into it, I think, than Kayla, it seems, did too.
Well, that's three. So we have I don't know what it is in a card game when you have
Wait,
three of
hold
the
on.
same.
Is it? I have a new vote for the real enemies to lovers. Is it cat?
Cats, the real enemies to lovers. Not
No,
Jack
I'm joking. I don't
Barlow,
think that's
not
actually gonna happen.
Dane.
That's so funny.
Oh my God.
Um,
No, I agree. I think that there's like, I was wondering that too, because she, like you said, the Venom dreams and stuff like that. And then it being Kat, I mean, it could have been anybody. And like she obviously is prone to having the visions with Liam, which what a missed opportunity to bring
I
Liam
know.
back. But I don't know. I think that Ash could be onto something about the like maybe sleeping through the future, or like a Harry Potter instance where it's like you're finding out what's happening next in a dream.
So let's get into that scene then. Let's get into like when Taryn falls and hits his head and passes out. We'll get into that. But I want to talk about first the interaction between her and the Venom. And then we'll talk about Kayla's crazy theory who that I didn't even think about. It was possible.
The Venom conversation was the Venom was so comfortable, and I it's T, right? Like I'm not imagining, like she says like her name's begins with a T.
Yeah.
It's Theo Pen
Yeah.
something.
It's
I just
really yeah,
it's
wait,
long.
Kayla, you read the audiobook. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
did.
but it was super long and it would not stick.
It doesn't stick. It starts with the T and it's long.
Well,
But
let's just call her Theo because I know it's the first. I have it written down, but it's like messy at the end. But it's for sure
Yeah.
Theo at the
I wrote it
beginning.
down too, but I can't.
okay, we're calling her
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Theo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so Theo, our girl Theo.
The conversation was very, like I said, comfortable. Like she had no fear and she wielded her signet.
Lightning. She wielded
Yeah.
lightning. Yeah. Do you
Like,
think she pulled that tornado in?
yes. Oh,
So we
yes.
basically find out that Marin's family is in this camp and so Atos sends the crew out to go on a patrol on the front lines. And he's basically Varys 2.0. He's Varys 2.0. So
Yep.
he sends them all out. He's like, you know what? I can't punish you. I can't afford to lose your dragon, but I can punish your team. And so he sends them all out to go fight. And basically the commander at that station is just like, yeah, we don't need a bunch of cadets dying. So go make yourself useful, go clean some shit, go do whatever. They then find out that at a post nearby, Marin's family, so Marin's a rider. We have sorry, Marin's a flyer. We have riders and flyers together now. And so we find out that her family is there and they're like, do we go save them? And they're obviously like, yes. That's one thing that I really love about Violet is she's literally always like, yeah, no question about it. Like there's never a moment where she questions if she should save someone or help someone or join the cause or what's right and wrong. Like I really love that in her. And it just like makes me really love Violet even more. So they go and it's a trap to get Violet and she talks to Theo and Theo's all like, who did you bond first? Um, and like what's going on here, right? And that's where chapter 10 literally ends, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And but yeah, like when she's like, who did you bond first? The black one or the arid? And like her going arid, like
Yeah.
so it's nice that we have a name for Andarna, but it also made it very obvious that they want Andarna. Like
Hmm.
they know so much more than what our, in the words of Nick, our girl knows. And it's like it's just something like they obviously want Indarna. So why do they want Indarna? Like we know that she's the only one. She's been waiting 600 years to come out of her egg. So is she the last one? When was the last time that they saw another Indrid? Indrid? Eardrid.
Irid. But it's just so weird. It like floored me that she was like, "Yeah, I want to talk to you." She's like, "It's good faith that I didn't kill them." You know? She's like, "It's good faith that I'm not killing you. When you turn," she's like, "When you turn, come find me." Right? It's a craziness.
Yeah. Like at first when she was like, "Oh, I spared the," like she's just, oh, I don't
There's
know
no
if
words.
I'm interested or if I want to hate her. Like I wanted to know more or if I just want her to die.
Yeah. No, that's what it was. I mean, I want to know more, but that's what it was. I found the part where she was like, "You killed Marin's family to lure me." And she's like, "Only the parents." So she's like, I protected the whatever,
Yeah.
just whatever. I'm
I
assuming
saved the
it's family.
boys and
Right.
killed the parents.
And killed the
And it's
parents
a
in good
sign of
faith.
goodwill. Yeah.
And she's like, "What is happening?" It's just a really interesting, there's definitely gonna be more of her later in the book. And they all seem to think like Violet, they call Violet the leash, right? That's what Jack calls her. That's what this Venom calls her. Like, so she's the leash to Xaden. So, did you guys ever watch Wheel of Time or read the books
Yes.
Wheel of Time? So, do you know
Mm-hmm.
how there's like these characters that, so it's like the main women who can channel, and then there's other people who take people who can channel and channel through them. And they like literally have them on leashes. So that's what that reminded me of a lot, was like the same theme of, do they work in the same way of I can channel and I can kind of like push through you. So I'm wondering too if it's like how they control the wyvern, if they can control each other the same way too, much like Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, if you will.
Yeah, to be very honest, I totally missed the leash stuff. I don't know if I was just distracted or what. Um, it like I missed it
Listen, your girl
entirely.
never misses a leash stuff, okay? I catch it every
I
time.
did, sadly, and I just was like, so. But I want to get to my mad theory about Taryn and what happens when he supposedly passes out. Um, I because it says that she can't find his heartbeat. He's not breathing. And she's like, "You can't leave me. You can't leave me." Like she's holding him, like saying, "You can't leave me. You can't leave me." And like just willing him to breathe. And then finally, like she does. So what if she maybe, oh my God, what if, okay, so maybe it's not reincarnation like I thought. What if she's a reverse Venom where she puts
What's a
power back?
reverse venom?
So the Venom, remember how I was talking about this in the
Kayla's like so
beginning.
desperate for anything right now.
I because the whole time I'm like, I have been mentally preparing myself that it's not Xaden who's going to die. It'll be Taryn because Rebecca likes to just stab you in the heart. But what it so Venom, like they take the power and they seep it out of the elements around them, like the ground around them. But what if Violet is kind of like the reverse, where she imbues her power into
Isn't
other
that what
things?
Sloan is though? Like Sloan's a siphon.
But
Yeah,
she's
that's
yeah,
slow.
which is pretty much a venom, isn't it?
I mean,
Is that not similar
but
to a
she was
venom?
taking the power and then imbuing it into the stone. That's pretty much what you're describing.
I
But
guess the venom are just taking the power from the earth.
yeah. Well, they take it from rioters too, because they it said that don't let them touch you or don't touch the ground that you're on because they'll suck you dry. um, but no, what if Violet See, this is where I'm still leaning toward reincarnation, but what if she pushed her power, like some kind of power thing, into Taryn to breathe again? Because it does say he stopped. Like, was I the only one that caught that?
She also says that when she goes back to like the moment with Liam and she was like, Liam knew what was his dragon's name? Like Liam knew his dragon was gone and was like, I gotta get there. But she didn't have that same feeling, right? She didn't have that same feeling with him. But I do see your point. So Liam only had minutes after Dee ceased breathing, but he knew. She says, choose to live. I beg Aunt Darna in a rush. You're the only one of your kind. You have to live no matter what happens to us. And then she's like, stay with me. You both have to stay, is what Aunt Darna says back. So I see what you mean. Like you're saying, like, oh, maybe Violet like can will things to happen. She's like, nope, this has to happen. And I've seen that theory pop around too, where people are like, oh, because she's the only one who speaks to other dragons other than herself.
Yeah. I don't know, there's something there. And it's it's so hard because there's so many things that we can go off on, and there's so many fan theories just across the board trying. And again, we want to hear everybody's fan theories because we all have our own theory that one of us is like the single man out, where we're just like, no, I think it's this. So we each have something like that, and we like me with the reincarnation, everyone thinks I'm crazy. But I feel like that might be that's I don't know. It was just a one-liner in the first book, and that's stuck with me. So the venom come into the Xaden bursts into the medical ward and saves everybody, and then he was like, I didn't mean to do that. I have no idea how I did that. Like I wasn't, it was just like a thing that happened. And that's kind of scary for him, and like reading it, because like is his instincts just like heightened because he's venom, or like he says that he sensed them. So that's new,
Yeah,
right?
he senses them, which is why I was saying like, okay, I think Violet is also got venom powers because they're clearly sensing her.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some sort of connection. And we know that Jack can sense the venom. I think it's just because of the wards that they can't like outright because he had to set those traps, right? Or no, that was for Wyvern. Never mind, that wasn't even for venom. So I think that they all have a sense of each other of like what their movements are. Because Xaden like knew where they were, and Jack knew earlier in like the last book too where they were.
Yeah.
But there was one quote that I did want to touch on, and that was the last time a shadow and lightning wielder fought side by side, they managed to drive the venom back into the Barrens for a few hundred years. We'll figure out how to do it again. That is Professor Devra coming in when at the moment where they were all the people who chose the riders who chose to stay stole a Griffin rider, a Griffin flyer. I keep messing that up because this makes
Yeah.
sense to me. Griffin flyer, and they were like, you have to fight one of us to like earn your keep here, right? To stay here and to kind of this is during the peace talks to see if they were going to stay. And basically, Violet does her speech, and then Professor Devra comes in and says that little gem, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's theories on that, but I just wanted to leave us with that little mic drop moment.
She is amazing. I love her character because she's like the Gandalf in this story, I feel like, right? Like she
I feel
just
like
kind of
she's more of McGonagall because how they show up, like they literally just got off dragons and they got home and it's like they come home and all the kids have fucking trashed the house. And their looks are like, get your guys' crap together and solve this crap out.
a bubbling band of baboons.
You are right, Ash. She is McGonagall vibes through and through. That's why we love her. But it's just I think that's a really good indication of what's next, right? I think it's like, okay, clearly these two are the key. And now we have Andarna. We know she's the key to fight Venom. We just have this kind of two different wars happening. We have like Zayden needing to find a cure and have this war between himself because he's so composed and now he's starting to lose a little control, like you were saying, Kayla. And then we have the war of like actually fighting the Venom. So we shall see. We shall see in the next recap.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Whew. I have to say, like I said, I'm starting on the next few chapters and stuff is starting to come together. So but I'm glad that we're doing these 10 at a time because I like when chapter 10 hit and all I wanted to do is talk about it because I like my mad theories again about I thought Taryn was definitely dead. When I listened to it, I thought he was dead and then he came back. Also, my book still has not shipped. I got a thing saying, oh, it should be shipped soon, but still don't have my book. So thank God for audio.
I'm surprised Sam's got there
Yeah.
actually on time. And my pre-order from Thrift Books was like 3 or 4 days late. I ended up going to Walmart and getting a copy. So now I'm gonna return the other one, but I'm super disappointed on the pre-orders not arriving on time.
Yeah. That's something that actually Rebecca said too. Like it's a good and bad side of the whole publicity stuff that she's doing right now because when I'm doing our social media stuff, it's hard not to like want to scroll and see some of this stuff. But she said that with the fourth book, she'll be able to take her time and since there is no deadline, that should also help with the publishing issues. So because then I'm not quite sure how that's going to help. I think it's your publisher that you use.
It's the printer. It's the printer.
Yeah.
That was the issue.
But
it's all good.
So exciting stuff. I got packages today. I got 2 packages I have not opened. Do you guys want to do like unboxing?
Yes.
Yeah. What'd you order?
A book unboxing.
Dan actually ordered me some, so I'm not quite sure what's in this.
It's gonna be awkward if it's not books.
Oh my God, it'd be so funny. No, so this is Nightbane, which is part of the Lightlark series. Very excited. I loved Lightlark. I definitely had like this idea for a book in my head or movie screenplay kind of thing. And she kind of played off of some of the elements that I wanted to write about, and I thought it was very good. The second one I am halfway through because I kept hearing rumors that it ended on a cliffhanger and I was already going through some emotional trauma with it. So I paused until the third book came out. Well, this is technically a second book, but the third book is out. So now I can finish that series, but you all should do that. And then let's see what one this is. The Stolen Heir, another great series. I haven't read this one. I'm halfway through. I have so many books I'm halfway through. The Stolen Heir is a great one too. This is the second series in this world by Holly Black. The first one is The Cruel Prince, which we will be reading because it is like this series is okay. Fourth Wing is okay. To me, I loved The Cruel Prince. Loved it.
We have already had a huge request of getting down and doing Crescent City, and that our mother has agreed to listen to the books and watch the podcast if we cover Crescent City. So now we have to do it. We have to.
It's so big.
Wait, is she reading? Did she read Fourth Wing?
No, she
No.
didn't do fourth wing.
Everyone's dressed in black. Okay, Auntie, I know you're listening. Let me just pitch this to you real quick. Everyone's dressed in black. That's it. You'll love it.
Yeah. You ride a dragon and you kill people. It's
You would
right up her
literally
alley.
love it. There's
Gratuitous violence
murder.
and black
There's
wardrobes.
there's violence. Okay?
Literally.
Things that you don't like in real life, but we've all listened to your playlist, okay? And they all wear black and leather all the time. So honestly, right up your alley. You should read it. That's my plug to Auntie specifically.
So
Um,
do we are we I feel like we need to do a poll and have our listeners tell us which series we start after this. What do y'all
Okay.
think?
Okay.
So let's each pick a book.
Keep in
We know-
mind, everyone, that Crescent City is only 1 million pages long.
Yes, it is
Okay.
huge. Hold on,
So there's that.
let me grab my copy.
I'm sorry.
It's
This
probably
sucker-
amazing, but it's huge.
This is so big. This is the paperback. This
I'm
is the
sorry.
slimmed down version.
Did you guys not have me start When the Moon Hatches? And that book is bigger than that one.
97 chapters. No, we're not done yet. There's 97 chapters, an epilogue, and acknowledgments, which is
All right.
at
We'll
least
have
another
to hit
chapter.
that in the summer.
I feel like, yeah, please do this
It's
in
the
the summer.
summertime.
Yeah,
Please, people.
please. But we know
Okay,
this
so
is
what
Ashley's.
do we have? What do we have next week?
So next week, we will be doing, I believe, chapters 11 through 20, or is it 11 through 21?
21.
20.
Does that seem right? 20. It's 20. 10. That would be 10 chapters.
That's 9 chapters.
11.
You read chapter 20.
10, or 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 20.
Okay, 20.
So we're going to have to, it doesn't matter to you. You already read the whole book.
I might have to
You guys, we are
guys.
really good at math. Okay.
I sat down to do this. I got a new camera. So I was trying to get that set up, and I looked and I had a bald spot in my eyebrow. I was like, when did that happen? Look, and was literally a bald spot. So like I filled it in a little bit. It's not much, but I was just like, what the heck? I was like, total no hair, nothing. I was like, what happened to me? So
Could it have been your glasses?
no, I was like, because it was right here. It wasn't like over here with like the
You light a grill again and just blow it up in your face.
That did happen. That was this side though. I lost the eyebrow on this side. You can it hasn't really fully
Wait,
grown
I
back.
have a question for you guys now that we're just messing around. Okay, the three of us, who, if we were Brennan, Mira, and Violet, who would we be?
I have a feeling
Just our dynamic.
Ashley's
Everyone
Mira.
wants to be Mira. Everyone
Ashley's
wants to be Mira.
Mira.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I could be Brennan and then Sam is Violet.
You know what? I'll say Kayla as Brennan and Sam as Violet just so we can punch Kayla.
Oh!
And
Yo, but
that's why
that really is your dynamic. Like you'll legit walk up to someone and just be like, pow. Yeah, you're Mira. You're Mira. We all have sassy moments, but I don't mind being Violet.
Because you're super smart. You're so smart, Miss Master's degree. And like you use a lot of logic, which she does. So, and I feel like I'm Brennan because I'm just like, I try to be a comic relief in a bad situation. And it's always the wrong time.
And Ashley is definitely Mira. She's like, fight first, ask questions later.
Yep. Full storm.
But like to defend, she's like, she'll come to your defense.
Yeah.
But also
Jackie in the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that is probably because there's always that when there's three, I thought that Rebecca did a good job like explaining the dynamic three because I feel like that is us. We're gonna have to do the Valkyrie Like if well, when
Oh
we
my
get
God.
to
When
Court
we
of
get
Thorns and
to
Roses, we're gonna find out which sisters are which, I feel like, in that. So I'm excited for those to come
I
back
don't
around.
identify with any of them.
I feel like I do and I don't. It's like a odd thing. I kind of do feel like I could when
I wanted to
Farah is in the
wring
pit.
Nesta's neck. I wanted to
This
wring
is
Nesta's
why
neck
you
the whole
guys
time.
need to read Crescent City.
Yes,
Okay,
I
that'll be
know.
the next one. Okay.
But don't we have to do Court of Thorns and Roses before we do Crescent
Oh,
City?
no, no.
I try to get us out of it.
I don't
So you
necessarily
read
want to
5 books
I'm
instead
not
of
ready.
3?
What?
So Kayla goes for 5 books instead of 3?
Well, this is pretty much two combined.
Um, I also am not quite ready to reread A Court of Thorns and Roses.
I'm not either. That's why what you didn't say what you think our next book should be. We know
Me?
Ashley's. Yeah, what do you think our next book should be?
Um, I mean, I feel like you're gonna literally murder me, but Crescent City probably should be the next
I
book.
feel like I'm
I know I just
screwed.
was talking shit about it. I know I just was talking shit about it. It's just because it's so long. Okay. So, I feel like Crescent City, but I also kind of want a book that none of us have read yet.
Mhm.
So I think maybe we go back to Sarah J. Maas and do like, um, what is
Oh,
it?
Thorn of Glass.
Throne
Glass.
of Glass, yeah. Which isn't, I don't know, now after like seeing like Book Talk, it's not necessarily one of the higher rated ones, but I just feel like a book that none of us have read, a series none of us have read, which is going to be tough because Ashley's read pretty much everything.
She
Um,
hasn't read that though.
I have
yeah,
not.
or
I
even
have
like
started
Light Lark,
collecting.
a book that we all are truly like reading together, like Onyx Storm, because this is the foundation of book club. Like this is the foundation of how we all got into it. Yes, like it was a lot of like, oh my God, I can't believe Tamlin's a dick, and you guys were like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, yes.
Like, oh
But
no, wait, come back.
yeah, no, bye. No, so
Bye.
sorry you're leaving.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
want to
I
do
think that
redo
it is
them, but
kind of like, yeah, I would love to redo them, but I think that the next one I want to do another one that we're all reading together.
yeah. And I kind of agree with the Throne of Glass. I could get into I literally have the series up here. Um, thank you to Recycled Reader and to whoever's been reselling them there because I've been buying them. Um, so support your local stores, people. Um, be the book shelter. You be a book shelter. Those books need homes.
I'm just trying to remember I don't know. I just started reading and I tried to take notes.
You are going to have to go back and reread a
Well, no,
lot.
I'm just gonna have to sit back like I did for this. I feel like I'm gonna have to do it until like the last video is just sit back and listen to you guys and chime in here and there. 'Cause
This
honestly,
is why we have a schedule. Okay, I'm
this is
just
Yes.
gonna
why we
say it.
need to like
This is
record
why we have
everything.
a schedule.
Craziness. Just craziness.
So this is out on Friday the 31st, and the next chapters 11 through 20 are out when, Kiki?
They will be released on February 7th. And then we have 21 through 30 on Valentine's Day. And
Ooh.
I feel like I saw something about some spicy scenes possibly being in that section. So just in time for Cupid's Day. And then we will be finishing up Onyx Storm. We're gonna do 30 to the end of the book. Are we still doing that, or are we gonna break it up some more? Because it is
Well, TBD.
so we're gonna wait and see where we're at. And also tell us where you're at. Have you finished the book? It seems like a lot of people at this point have finished it, but maybe you're taking it slow like we are so that we can psychoanalyze some of our parts like I have been.
Without
But
knowing. It's nice because if I feel
yeah.
like if I knew more, then I would like go into more. Like I almost did earlier today.
Yes.
And I only know one chapter more, so I can't imagine if I knew the whole thing. So I have to go 10 at a time.
So, but that's going to be the plan right now. Is 10 at a time. Just because we want to be able to actually deep dive. We rushed through Fourth Wing, Iron Flame. We want to take this one slow this way because it's easy now that because we read those books before, like right at Christmas. So they were fresh, but they weren't as fresh as this. And I can tell you right now, it was really hard reading the 10 and not calling and being like, girl, what page you on? So, but any other final thoughts, y'all?
I just can't wait to read the next set of pages because there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, for sure.
In the words of Eloise Bridgerton, make haste!